My dear children, now let's understand the process of digestion. Human digestion takes place in different steps. The first step is ingestion, means taking food to the mouth or buccal cavity. See, human digestion. In human digestion, the first step is ingestion. Ingestion means taking the food materials from outside to our mouth. This process takes place in mouth. When we open mouth, we can see a hollow cavity inside. That hollow cavity is called buccal cavity. Buccal cavity. And inside the buccal cavity, there are salivary glands. And these salivary glands are very important because they produce saliva. Saliva. You know what is saliva? It's a digestive juice. And in that digestive juice, there is an enzyme. And the name of the enzyme is salivary amylase. See, salivary amylase is an enzyme which is present in saliva. It has a major role in digestion, that is, which converts the starch or the carbohydrate present in our food converts to sugar. So, the function of salivary amylase is the digestion of starch. It means starch changes to sugar. Stomach. Stomach is a bag-like structure. And already we studied it is the wider part in the alimentary canal. And in the stomach, there are gastric glands. The walls of stomach consist of gastric glands. And these gastric glands, they secrete hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus. See, hydrochloric acid. It's an acid, and that acid is secreting or producing in our body. And also an enzyme, pepsin, and also mucus. So, gastric glands produce hydrochloric acid, pepsin and mucus. Here in the stomach, the second step of digestion takes place. And here, let's see hydrochloric acid. What is the role of hydrochloric acid in human digestion? This hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium in the stomach for easy digestion of food. Hydrochloric acid creates an acidic medium in the stomach for easy digestion of food items. And also, if there are any poisonous content in the food items, the hydrochloric acid will be neutralizing that poisonous content, or we can say hydrochloric acid can kill some harmful germs present in our food items. So, hydrochloric acid is also important for digestion. Then, the other one is pepsin. Pepsin is an enzyme present in the gastric glands. See, hydrochloric acid is not an enzyme, but pepsin is an enzyme produced by gastric glands. And this pepsin converts or digests proteins present in our food items. Digestion of proteins. You see, in the mouth, digestion of starch started. Starch converted to sugar. Then proteins also will be present in our food items. That proteins will be digested by pepsin. Pepsin digests proteins present in our food items. And you see mucus. And mucus is protecting the wall of stomach because hydrochloric acid will be producing in the stomach. So there is possibility to spoil the wall of the inner wall of stomach might be spoiled or it will be corroded. So mucus will be preventing the corrosion of stomach wall by the action of hydrochloric acid. So mucus is very important. See, digestion of protein takes place in the stomach. Pepsin digests proteins. Digestion of starch in mouth. Digestion of proteins in stomach. So second step of digestion. And you know, in the stomach, the food items will be churning. It means mixing the food items thoroughly with these digestive juices. Churning, the process is called churning, mixing thoroughly, or one proper mixing of food items happen in the stomach. Then after complete digestion from stomach, the food will be reaching to the next part for digestion. For that, in the stomach, the last part of stomach, already you know the shape of stomach, and in the last part of stomach, there are some particular type of muscles called sphincter muscles. Sphincter, S-P-H-I-N, CTER, sphincter muscles. And these sphincter muscles, they are having some pressure, and they create, we can say they exert some particular type of pressure to push the food items from stomach to the first part of small intestine. The first part of small intestine, already we studied the first part of small intestine is one bent tube, and that bent tube is called duodenum. Duodenum. You might have seen the picture before. Duodenum is one bent tube, one small tube, one short tube, and from stomach, by the action of sphincter muscles, the food reaches in the duodenum. There are two glands, pancreas and liver. Pancreas and liver. And you have to understand these two glands are situated outside of the alimentary canal. You studied alimentary canal is a long canal which starts from mouth to anus. But this pancreas and the liver, they are situated outside of the alimentary canal. But they open to duodenum. Pancreas opens to duodenum. Liver also opens to duodenum. And here pancreas produce pancreatic juice, and the shape of pancreas is somewhat leaf-shaped organ, leaf-shaped gland which secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains two enzymes. One is trypsin, and the other one is lipase. Trypsin and lipase are the enzymes present in pancreatic juice. And here trypsin helps for the digestion of proteins. Here also digestion of proteins by pepsin. In duodenum also proteins digestion takes place by trypsin. The other enzyme lipase helps for the digestion of fat. Lipase helps for the digestion of fat. Fat, another nutrient present in the food items. Fat, another nutrient. Carbohydrates, you studied in lower classes, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, different types of nutrients will be present in the food items. And here fat will be digested by the lipase. So digestion of protein takes place by trypsin, and digestion of fats takes place by lipase. And this process takes place by the action of pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice is secreted by pancreas. Then on the opposite side of pancreas, there is one more gland, that is liver. Liver. And you know, liver is the biggest gland in human body. The biggest gland in human body, liver. And this liver also opens to duodenum. From one side, pancreas opens, and from the other side, liver opens. Both these glands open to duodenum. It means their secretion reach inside the duodenum. Then this liver secretes bile juice. Bile juice. Secretion of liver is bile juice. And this bile juice contains lipase, which has an enzyme called lipase, and lipase helps for the emulsification of fat. You have to remember the word emulsification. Emulsification of fat. Emulsification means the fat globules will be converted into similar globules for easy digestion. It means for the digestion of fat, first step is emulsification, because the digestion of fat is somewhat difficult. So first it will be emulsified. It means it will be converted into similar pieces. Then later that emulsified fat will be digested. And that emulsification, that is done by lipase. Here also lipase helps for the digestion of fat. I told it means the emulsification of fat. Lipase helps for the emulsification of fat. And lipase is the enzyme which is present in bile juice. And bile juice is secreted by liver. Then in our body there will be excess of bile juice. And that excess of bile juice will be storing in our body inside one small ball-like structure. That ball-like structure you might have seen in the picture. Inside the liver, one small structure called gallbladder. Gallbladder. So gallbladder stores the excess bile present in our body. Okay. So mouth, stomach, pancreas, liver. You could see 4 steps of digestion. After that, the digestion is not over. Again from the duodenum, the food reaches in the next part of alimentary canal, that is small intestine. Small intestine. And in the picture you might have seen small intestine is a long coiled tube. It's a long tube, but its name is small intestine. What may be the reason? It is very thin, or thickness is very less comparing to large intestine. Large intestine is wider, but small intestine is thin. Because of that, it's called small intestine, not according to its length. According to its thickness, it is called small intestine. And in small intestine, there are intestinal glands. Intestinal glands. The side of small intestine consists of intestinal glands, and these intestinal glands produce intestinal juice. The secretion of intestinal glands, intestinal juice. In the intestinal juice, there are different types of enzymes, because the complete digestion of nutrients will be in the small intestine. So there are different types of enzymes. All these enzymes together help for the complete digestion of the remaining nutrients present in the food items. It means some amount of starch will be digested in the sugar, then some amount of protein will be digested. Some amount of protein will be digested in the stomach, then some amount of fat digestion will start from here, and here it will happen, and later the complete digestion of nutrients will take place in the small intestine. So small intestine completes the digestion. Digestion starts in mouth and ends in small intestine. So there are different types of enzymes present in small intestine which completes the digestion of our food items. After the digestion of all the nutrients, starch present in the food items will be converted to sugar. Proteins present in the food items will be converted to amino acids. It means proteins digested to amino acids. Digestion of proteins. Digestion of proteins means the proteins changes to amino acids. Starch changes to sugar. Proteins changes to amino acids. Then fat. After emulsification, after digestion, fat changes to fatty acid and glycerol. It means starch changes to sugar, proteins changes to amino acids, fat changes to fatty acid and glycerol. The digestion is over. It means now digested. The food is completely digested. Digestion is over. The digested product. We got the product. 3 products we got. One is sugar. The other one is amino acid. And the other one is fatty acid and glycerol. These are the final products of digestion. Final products of digestion. In human digestion, the final products are sugar, amino acids, fatty acid and glycerol. These are produced in small intestine. So small intestine has a major role in digestion. Then, if digestion is over, what should have happened? The food might be, or these digested products should be absorbed by blood. Blood has to absorb the products. So in the first step I said ingestion, taking food to the mouth. After ingestion, digestion. Ingestion over, digestion over. So 2 steps over. Then after digestion, the 3rd step is absorption. Absorbing the digested food. Which part will absorb? Blood will absorb. Blood is absorbing the digested food. So absorption happens. Ingestion, digestion, absorption. And for absorption, the wall of intestine, small intestine, consists of one special type of structures called villi. Villi. Villi, plural word, and its singular is villus. Villus. And these villi are some finger-shaped structures. Finger-shaped structures from the inner wall of small intestine. From the inner wall of small intestine, there are some finger-shaped structures to absorb the digested food. And these finger-shaped structures are called villi. So villi are some finger-shaped structures. This point is very important point. What are villi? What's its function? So villi are some finger-shaped structures present on the inner wall of small intestine for absorbing the digested food. Or we can say villi increase the surface area for absorption. Increasing the surface area for absorption. And this villi are richly supplied with the blood vessels. That's why blood is absorbing the food, digested food. So villi are richly supplied with blood vessels. Then absorption over. Small intestine is absorbing the digested food. Again, one more part in our alimentary canal, that is large intestine. Large intestine. And in the large intestine, the excess of water present in our food will be absorbed. Absorption of excess of water present in our food items will be done in large intestine. Then after that, undigested food. It means the waste food. The undigested food. We cannot say waste food, waste. Undigested food that pass through the large intestine and reaches at the end of large intestine. The end of the last part of large intestine is called the rectum. Rectum. So in the rectum, the undigested food will be storing, and it will be, and timely after storing, timely it will be sent out from the body through anus. Anus is the opening of alimentary canal, and the food items, the undigested food or the waste materials will be sending out through the anus. There also some particular type of muscles called as sphincter muscles. It's called anal sphincter. Sphincter muscles. They create some pressure. Anal sphincter. And by the pushing of anal sphincter muscles, the waste materials will be sent out from the body. And this process is the last process in our digestive process, that is egestion or excretion. Excretion. The word is familiar to you. Egestion. Egestion. So, how many steps? The first step is ingestion, taking food to mouth. The second step is digestion. Digestion takes place in different steps. Then after digestion, absorption. Absorption. Then after absorption, the digested food reached in the blood. And after reaching in the blood, what will happen? What may happen? The body will utilize it. Is it? Body is utilizing the digested food, and that process is assimilation. Assimilation. Utilizing of food. That's why we are eating food. The body has to use the food. Utilization of food happens in the body, that is assimilation. Assimilation. Then after assimilation, egestion or excretion. So how many steps are there? How many processes are there in digestive process? The first one is ingestion. Ingestion. Second one is digestion. Digestion. Third one is absorption. Absorption. Next one is assimilation. Assimilation. And the last one is excretion or egestion. So you have to know down these points. At the same time, you have to know the glands, salivary glands, gastric glands, pancreas, liver, intestinal glands. The enzymes, salivary amylase, function, converts starch to sugar. Pepsin, converts proteins. Trypsin, lipase. Trypsin digests proteins. Lipase helps for emulsification of fat. Then different types of intestinal enzymes, they complete the digestion of all our nutrients present in the food. So the final products of digestion is sugar, amino acids, fatty acid and glycerol. So I think if there is any doubt, you have to ask me. Did you understand?